everyone to the mic on mute, please, so that there's no disturbance to the others. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's virtual session on IACC Foundation Day Celebrations 2024. I also acknowledge the presence of our senior leadership of IACC, Mr. Narasimharaju Garu, Purnachandrarao Garu, Srikant Sir, Sridevi Ma'am, and all the other EC, SIC, and BC members. I extend a special welcome to Mr. Frank Talluto, Political and Economic Chief, US Consulate Hyderabad. We appreciate and thank you for your time in joining us today, sir. I congratulate each and every one of you on IACC's 56th Foundation Day. I would also like to briefly talk about IACC. The IACC is established in the year 1968, is an apex bilateral chamber synergizing India-US economic engagement. It was started by Ambassador Chester Bowles, along with the then industry leaders and visionaries like Kirloskar, Harish Mahindra sir, Nanda sir, Keelachan sir, Arunachalam sir, Frederick Falls sir, John Orris Sims sir, for enhancing US-India economic engagement. Today, IACC has pan-India presence with around 2,000 odd members across the US and Indian industry. The major objective of IACC is to promote Indo-American business, trade, and economic relations. IACC promotes bilateral trade, investment, and technology transfer, facilitates business collaborations, joint ventures, marketing tie-ups, and strategic alliances through a set of proactive business-oriented initiatives. IACC acts as a catalyst for sustainable growth of businesses between India and the US. IACC has established operational connectivity with the host of businesses, research, and developmental institutions in India as well as US in order to leverage each other's capabilities and enhancing Indo-US business relations. The Chamber continuously interacts with the Indian and US governments and provides them feedback on bilateral issues relating to trade and investment. In essence, IACC also acts as a forum for its member companies to interact with senior functionaries of both the governments. IACC member companies are involved in a cross-section of business domains such as manufacturing, engineering, construction, consumer goods, electronics, IT, pharmaceuticals, consulting, travel and tourism, etc. The geographical spread of IACC is unique as it operates through 15 office locations throughout the country. These are located in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Goa, Hyderabad, Jamshedpur, Kochi, Kolkata, Lucknow, Mumbai, Nasik, New Delhi, Pune, Varanasi. I would also like to introduce our special guest today, Mr. Frank Talluto. Frank sir has arrived in Hyderabad in the year September 2023 to assume the role as the US Consulate's Political Economic Chief. He is responsible for outreach to the governments and business communities of the three-state region encompassing Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha. Hyderabad is Mr. Talluto's 8th tour in the Foreign Service. Most recently, he served as the Economic and Consular Office in the Federated States of Micronesia. Previous Foreign Service tours include Spain, Argentina, India, South Africa, and 2 postings in Pakistan. Prior to joining the Foreign Service, Mr. Frank sir worked for over 25 years in banking and real estate finance in Atlanta, Georgia, and Moscow, Russia. He received his BS in finance from Louisiana State University and an MBA from Georgia State University, and is also fluent in Spanish. I thank Frank sir and all our industry leaders for sparing their valuable time and joining us today. In today's session, we can hear from the past leaders of IACC who are holding the IACC fort and left behind a legacy to follow. Their contribution is really commendable, and along with them, Mr. Frank sir will share his views on the present and future of Indo-US bilateral relations. Once again, I congratulate you all on this wonderful occasion of our IACC anniversary, and I now request Mr. Srikant sir, National Executive Council member, to take over and moderate today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. That was a wonderful introduction, and it's very interesting to know about Mr. Frank joining us all. And as Mr. Frank, as Mr. Avinash was trying to tell about the background of IACC, the main motive behind why IACC was formulated in CA, and it's almost like 56 years. And I'm born in 1969. So ICE is just 1 year elder to me. So IACC, but IACC, I was holding ICE's chair for 3 years, and then regional level and at national, presently I'm at national level. We have been working very closely with Consulate General of Hyderabad and national, to talk about region and national level. We've been working closely with your main embassy in New Delhi, and over a period of time, as you all know, and probably you might have read about what's going on, what was the kind of relationship we developed over a period of time, the bilateral trade relationship, especially in the last decade. We have become more like a family than, in a trade relation. The Indo-US, the world is talking about Indo-US trade relation. That is very, very welcoming, and it's a music to ears. I'm just trying to share my experience when in the recent past. Just last month, while I was attending a world conference, where from people from Latin America and the US and all feed its own people. We're all converged, and we're talking about how we could drive world at the same single language, and how trade can be done, because the exports and especially the foreign direct investment, mutual trade beneficial FTAs and all this, what leads, and this is what the language, the present day language. There we could see people we're talking about especially the central world, but they're talking about how the Indo-US trade relationship been growing year on year. That was a wonderful thing, irrespective of the political interest. It is more of a trade, more of a cultural thing, because as we've been telling in the past, and then the fact, in fact, so most of our own children are settled in the US. Each household we can see students going and studying. So it's a huge contribution what India is making as far as to the US as far as education thing is concerned. And similarly, coming back to business, also we have a lot of collaboration being doing in the past. Keeping this in view, Mr. Frank, I would like to hear from you. What are your perspective in the? Let's not go much behind, but the last 5 years, 10 years to the future. How do you look at our relationships, Mr. Frank? Yeah, over to you, Mr.
Well, pardon me, Srikant. We have a series of alarms going off right now, and so my apologies if they end up coming through in the middle of this in this call. But I appreciate the invitation to be here, and those are exactly the kinds of things that I want to touch on in a second. Before I start, I'd like to congratulate Avinash and the new executive committee team on being elected and taking charge, because it's truly an honor to be here today to talk about some of these the aspects of our bilateral commercial relationship. A couple of things that I want to touch on are the growth of the global capability centers in India, the emergence of artificial intelligence as a technology that is going to really enhance the relationship between our two countries, and the robust trade and investment relationship between the US and India, and in particular the Telugu-speaking regions of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So starting first, looking at GCCs, they have really become a cornerstone of the modern global economy. These centers that are often mostly established by multinational corporations, serve as hubs for critical business functions such as research and development, IT services, customer support. And of course, Hyderabad has emerged as a key player in this space, surpassed only by Bangalore, and I would dare say only for the moment. And so, Hyderabad attracts numerous GCCs due to its skilled workforce, strategic location, and a very supportive business environment. And so the presence of these centers in Hyderabad not only boosts the local economy, but strengthens the commercial ties between our two countries. For example, I look out the window of my apartment in Gachibowli, and I see Wells Fargo, I see Qualcomm, I see Deloitte, PwC, Medtronic, Providence, and of course, my personal favorite, Callaway Golf.
Phoenix also you see, right? Phoenix.
Pardon?
You see Phoenix also, right? Phoenix building.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Please go ahead.
Well, but the important thing is these American companies all benefit from the innovation and efficiency that Hyderabad offers, and the city gains from the influx in investment and the creation of high quality jobs that play an important role in unlocking emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. I am absolutely in awe that Deloitte, for example, employs 40,000 people in Hyderabad alone. And speaking of AI is an area where we see tremendous potential for collaboration. It's transforming industries across the globe, from healthcare to finance to manufacturing to retail. Recently, a pharmaceutical executive here was telling me how AI was speeding the development of new drugs through rapid iterations of various molecule combinations that combat specific diseases. So, I mean, this is we're only on the front end of an industry that is going to have tremendous growth and repercussions for our commercial relationship. After all, United States and India are at the forefront of AI research and development, and Hyderabad is quickly becoming a hub for AI innovation. And as I say that, the new government in AP has laid out ambitious plans to develop an AI ecosystem in Andhra Pradesh. So we look for a lot of healthy competition between the two states to accelerate in this area. But I would say, by working together, we'll be able to harness the power of AI to drive economic growth, improve public services, and address some of the most pressing challenges of our time. Joint initiatives in AI research, talent development, technology deployment are going to lead to groundbreaking advancements such as we just talked about a second ago in pharmaceuticals that'll benefit both of our countries. And then the final thing I wanted to touch on is the trade and investment relationship between the US and India, and in Hyderabad in particular. American companies have long recognized the strategic importance of Hyderabad, investing in sectors such as technology, pharmaceuticals, and infrastructure. In fact, on that note, I just returned from an environmental company today that handles waste management for the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. It's a joint venture between a US firm and an Indian company, and financed by a US investment bank, KKR. So, these investments have not only contributed to the economic development of Hyderabad, but also created opportunities for, US businesses to expand their global footprint. And these are the, types of examples where we have access to capital and JV collaborations where, both of our countries, both of our economies benefit tremendously. So these sectors, I think, represent key potential for US companies to invest and partner with Indian companies in AP and Telangana. So in turn, Hyderabad-based companies are increasingly looking to the US as a key market for their products and services. It's no wonder software is the main Indian export to the United States from this region. So the two-way flow of trade and investment is a testament to the strong economic partnership between our two countries. So not to go on and on, but just to wrap up by saying, as we look to the future, there are immense opportunities for further collaboration, I think, between the US and India, and in particular, the Telugu states. And by leveraging our respective strengths in our global capability centers, in AI, and in trade and investment, I think we can create a more prosperous and innovative future for both of our countries. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention and your invitation, and look forward to continuing to work with IACC.
That's so nice of you, Mr. Frank. Yeah, see, we acknowledge what you're trying to say, but especially, of course, India is the #1 exporter as far as US services industry is concerned. But do you agree with me if I say there's a huge, bright future for the American community to set up here in India for manufacturing? Just to give you more light on that, we have Mr. Raju here, who is one of the senior, was the past chairman of IACC and was a national executive committee member also. So we will hear from Mr. Raju about the manufacturing opportunities, and he has got totally different background than IT. Of course, it is mostly related to IT, but more of manufacturing also. Mr. Raju, can you throw more light on the kind of opportunities we can leverage from the Indo-US trade relationships?
Yeah, sure.
Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Just I would like to focus on the role of MSMEs in India versus USA. See, MSMEs are the backbone of any country. They are mostly family-owned businesses. Globally, MSMEs have been impacted severely by the COVID-19 crisis and now picking up very fast. Of course, in India, the MSMEs are distributed in micro, small scale, and medium scale industries. Whereas in USA, it is based on the employee strength, maybe 1 to 9 micro, 10 to 49 small, and 50 to 499 medium. Recently, Indian government and the US Business Administration signed a memorandum of understanding to promote cooperation between the two countries. The MOU includes plans to exchange expertise and develop a digital platform and boost business opportunities. In India, the employment is mostly from the small scale sector, MSMEs. MSME account 2/3 of business employment in advanced economies, whereas in India, it is more than 60 million MSMEs are there. And there are MSME employment accounts for about 66% and contribute 30% of GDP in India. Total employment crossed about 212 million by 2023 and contribute more than 50% of country's total exports. See, in USA, the employees accounts for about 61 million and contribute 43% of USA GDP. In US, small technology companies have made the biggest breakthroughs, whereas in India, we are lacking. For example, Meta and Zoom Video Communications among them, many of today's big manufacturing companies also started as small factories. Monster Beverage and Tesla are recent examples. Innovation has been a big factor in fast scaling companies. Small companies in each technical sector have produced more patents per employee than their bigger competitors. The productivity ratio depends on advantages of scale in areas of such technology, human capital, market access, and finance. MSMEs struggle to access these competencies at the same level as larger companies in both the countries. See, interactions between small and large businesses are key to boosting collective productivity in USA. There is a very good examples are there. Whereas in India, it is industry and education institutions cooperation is it is not in a big way. It has to be improved. Then only the technologies can be improved further by the MSMEs in India. The main challenge faced by Indian MSCs are working capital, high interest costs, delayed payments from private and public sector, including government departments, lack of innovation, technical challenges, competition, skills challenges faced, and lack of professionalism and lack of standardization policies. Whereas the international standards are implemented in USA in all sectors, but whereas in India, our Indian standards are very, very old and they are not up to date as per the requirement of international standards. Government is, of course, mainly focusing on employment generation, credit guarantee, marketing, promotion, international cooperation, marketing support, technology upgradation, etc. About 60 export facilitation centers functioning across in India, which are disseminating information to the MSc sector on import and export procedures. With this, there is a little bit improvement is there, a good education to the MSMEs. Whereas in USA, is an entirely different situation. They have all standardization policies and quality standards, and their innovation is very high, even in small scale sector also. From India, exports to USA, mostly engineering goods, German jewelry, textiles, electronics, etc. During 2023, Indian exported worth of about 76 billion US dollars, whereas imports was 42 billion US dollars in 2023. Of course, it is increasing mostly day by day, and mostly the imports are from USA are minerals, fuels, and oils, chemicals, cotton, nickel, engineering, and electronic goods. The recent import growth from USA increased by 4% compared to 2023 financial year. Mostly the need is required by all MSCs, not only in India, in USA also. Small companies can gain financial access by working with bigger companies. Some large companies use their relationship with financial institutions to advocate for small suppliers who may otherwise be unable to access credit or who may receive unfavorable rates. Collaboration among companies could be encouraged by enhancing digital data and financial infrastructure, establishing a training ecosystem, and creating a level playing field, in turn, productivity for small businesses. Establishing a training ecosystem can help MSME access crucial technical and strategic expertise. Examples include the United States Manufacturing Extension Program, that is MEP, which provides small businesses with access to a national network of hundreds of specialists who offer services ranging from supply chain management to industrial design, technology-driven market intelligence, marketing and states, and more. This we are lacking in India. There are very few supports from the specialists. Among the 10 advanced economies, small companies are on average 60% as productive as big businesses. But US small companies are just 47% as productive. I don't know the reason why it's lacking, why they are unable to reach a reasonable as per advanced economies.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. So
Yeah.
can you make a one major point where
Yeah.
it would influence the trade influence and start working on the trade and for the betterment of the Indo-US trade relations, sir? On
Okay.
the SMEs, one particular point.
Yeah, sure. See, even the small scale MSME sector from India, the exports a huge quantity. But unfortunately, what is happening that the technologies are very old in MSME sector in India. They have to upgrade themselves. Then definitely the market will increase. At the same time, the US companies can come forward with the technologies support so that both the countries can have edge.
Sir, my request is, this is a very valid point. If you could kindly separately after this, you can just mail us. We'll take it to the national level also, and we'll also talk to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry to look into this issue. Because this is the industry which needs support. So thank you, sir. We'll go to the next speaker now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Very insightful thoughts you've been throwing on MSMEs. And of course, IACC, most of the members are from this industry. Now, Ms. Sridevi Devireddy, we've since here from the tech field, and you're in varied industries also. What are your thoughts basically, and how do we collaborate and how do we expand with respect to the emerging technologies? What is your call on this? You're on mute. Use technology.
Sorry, everybody. Thank you, Shrikant Garu. It was an insightful discussion. Just now, I heard my previous panelists speak about various topics, and Sir clearly spoke about GCCs and emergence of AI and robust trade and investment opportunities. I think all these three have an overlap, but they are part of deep technologies. I'm part of the semiconductor industry, and I personally feel, given this, not just me, all the world leaders are telling, this is the decade for India, and I personally think this is the decade for the semiconductor industry in India. So I can clearly see through that there are a lot of countries which are looking at China plus one policy. And in that China plus one policy, as far as supply chain is concerned, India is in the forefront. So people are looking across the globe for, in electronics and semiconductor industry, to have another country for their supply chain and for their various other chips related need. I mean to say the semiconductor part. So I think the way forward is JVs with US companies for technology know-how. Anybody in India is looking for setting up something which is advanced, and somebody in US has the expertise. Given the India Semiconductor Mission mandate also, having a JV with an entity in US will be an added advantage for them. At the same time, the time needed to set up a manufacturing unit, you can expedite it with the expertise of your partner in the US. So I can see a lot of synergies with US companies going forward. The way India is moving in the semiconductor space in the next decade, not only just JVs, and after that also a lot of technology know-how, a lot of manpower needed. I can clearly see a lot of US leaders coming to India and working. I've seen already a lot of Koreans working in Hyderabad as well. A lot of US citizens are working in Hyderabad, but this number is going to increase. This is my observation. So hoping for the best for India for this decade. And I'm very sure that we, as the torch bearers of Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, will play a very critical role in connecting people, connecting organizations, and helping them grow faster, helping them go global faster. So
yeah, that's well said. Well said. Actually, you indirectly set a tone and set a vision for the next 5 to 10 years for Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, AP and Telangana. Well said. And I would acknowledge your thoughts as well, because the present governments, both the state and central government, are looking into these areas. Especially our Honorable Prime Minister is insisting about semiconductors. India should become a semiconductors country sooner or later, and of course, we should also acknowledge what Mr. Frank was trying to say about the GCCs. And Hyderabad is going to be a mecca for GCCs, I'm sure. I've been talking about infrastructure. How I'm going to collaborate on how we are going to. Infrastructure field, the real estate field is going to connect with that. Before that, Subhakar, I'm going to come back to you. In the meanwhile, Sundari Garu, could you, with your experience in this particular legal field and all, could you kindly throw some light how we can, which are the key points we are supposed to impress on or work out on as IACC regional or our state branches concerned? Your thoughts, please.
Sure. Thanks, Shrikant Garu, and thanks to the organizers for inviting me to share a few thoughts. We are glad to be celebrating the Founders Day today. we're all living in interconnected world. And as a corporate lawyer practicing, especially in the Indo-US corridor, I can see a lot of good activity in the joint ventures, collaborations, into the country and of course, overseas also, Indian companies going abroad. Just a few information wanted to share. The bilateral trade values have really gone up in terms of FY23, 128 billion, trade between India and US. Exports have gone up, and Rajgaru has already addressed that. FDI from the US has significantly gone up, and key sectors, of course, seem to be in multiple technology, manufacturing, financial services. All these are areas where there's a lot of FDI which has come in. But where we can see good activity in terms of this is in the defense sector, with all the JVs and the business collaborations happening in terms of exchange of technology, and then the critical defense agreements have been signed for enabling the facilitation of any exchange of the secure data and military cooperation as well. Defense sector people have heard, but also, wanted to share a few thoughts on the renewable energy investments also. US International Development Finance Corporation seems to have invested over 500 million in the renewable energy projects in India, supporting our renewable energy goals, and also in the clean energy manufacturing and supply chains as well. Significant investment seems to have come into India. So that is something to be kept in mind. New areas, of course, the healthcare industry, we all know, India is the largest supplier of generic drugs to the US, and research and development cooperation, collaboration also significantly there in R&D, drug discovery, clinical trials, a lot of enhancing, innovation. New areas that are coming up, of course, is the agri-tech collaboration also seems to be increasing between the two countries. And in terms of food exports also, as you know, India's agricultural exports to the US have gone up significantly, 2.6 billion, and new products are also being exported. One where we are seeing in the M&A space recently also we've done is in the AI space. A large listed company in the US acquired an AI company in India, because AI and generative AI, data management, data and analytics, in addition to, of course, the IT services, this large activity. And Sridevi Garu, like she said, semiconductor industry and advanced telecommunications, these are all the new areas where significant activity is there from US and India. And very recently, I think in Prime Minister Modi's visit to the US, where there was a meeting of the president and all, they significantly welcomed the signing of the MOU relating to the MSME segments. MSME is where I think a lot more hand-holding is needed, because large companies in India, access to the US market is easier. US companies coming in, GCCs, all of that is significant. But MSMEs, when they want to go abroad, that is where I think we need to facilitate in terms of the workshops, or, giving them the knowledge and the trade facilitation. If we can enable that in terms of setting up segment-wise or industry-wise collaborations or meetings, and maybe more trade delegations between the countries in a focused way, I think that will open up a lot more opportunity for the MSMEs in India to go abroad.
That's really nice to hear about. Hyderabad is. Before talking about Hyderabad, I should also share with you. When all the while people talk about US being a land of opportunities and all, now people are talking in a different way. They say India is land of opportunities. I say Hyderabad is land of opportunities. Whatever fields you mentioned just now, their bases are here, their roots are here, they're growing here. From people are going to the US from this particular sectors. It's a wonderful things happening in this part of the world. Very appreciative. So we have a huge job for IACC. So people like you coming on board at regional level and at branch level with leaders like Avinash and all, I'm sure the next 4-5 years, a lot of things are going to happen in Hyderabad through IACC. So our collaboration with the state and central government is a must. So we got to work out in the past somehow we missed that connection. I mean, Sridevi has already been cautioning that we are missing this particular thing about collaboration with this. We got to go hand in hand with the state government, because we have been seeing all of the trade bodies are working in of course their modality is different, our thing is different, but still we we have the kind of brains we have on IACC board. I'm sure we can contribute huge to both the governments. Next, I would like to hear from Subhakar. Of course, education is another area apart from IT, which is contributing to US in another way. It is like reverse FDI, what is happening into the US. So I beg, borrow, steal, I send my son to the US. That is what the Indians have been doing in the past, and they're continuing to do. So, Subhakar Garu, so how do you see what I'm trying to see? I'm not trying to ask you the scenario of sending students, but is there any possibility that I set up universities, US universities here in Hyderabad or India, and retain our own funds here and educate our children here? Subhakar Garu.
Yeah, thank you, Shrikant Garu, and happy Founders Day to everyone. Yes, there is a huge opportunity. I think there are many universities out there in the US who are looking to be a part of Indian growth story. Specifically, as we all know that, in the over the last 1 decade, from a mere 60,000-70,000 students going to the US from a year per year has gone up to 180,000 last year alone, and which has contributed to over $12.5 billion of FDI into the US. So what is happening right now is, as you know, in the Gift City with our PM Modi Garu launching it, the first ever full-fledged foreign university from Australia has been established, Deakin University. So for sure, there is a lot of opportunity. I just had the opportunity to speak to a couple of universities which had visited our office for various informations or sessions. A lot of universities from the US are keen and interested to be a part of the Indian ecosystem. I think a local partner, a local university will be a faster process to do. And as we see that, lakhs of students are going abroad. Last year, around 1.3 million students went abroad, other than the US, including Canada, UK, Australia, these being the top 4. There is a huge interest for students. I think, the growth is going to be happening, but at the same time, even the numbers growing, the number of people who wanting to go abroad, since the opportunities or the forex reserves aspects, people earning a little more will be there. But as you said, I think we can really look forward to establish, and I have had very large universities and high-ranked schools like Purdue and Texas Arlington willing to be a part of the Indian growth story. I think, that should be the next step forward. And as you said, I'm in complete sync with that, we should be collaborating with the government bodies here. Now that in Telangana, Revanth Reddy Garu, our CM, has announced that he wants to set up a skill university and a sports university and a knowledge hub for these kind of things. I think from the US part, as an IACC, we can go together, and I am very confident that we can bring in top-ranked universities to come and set up the shop here in Hyderabad.
That's really nice. Subhakar, I think, I believe you're aware that now the central government has also relaxed. Earlier, for foreign university to come into India, they should be ranked within 100. Now it is any global university which are ranked within 500, they can come and set up here. And you're right that the GIFT is the first place to start with Deakin as Australian University. And we are also planning, actually, they can also come into our special economic zones.
Right.
As a service providers, because the university comes under services. Right. So we are encouraging. Just let us know if you have anything to do with it. We'll collaborate. Through IACC, we can invite more number of universities, and locally also we have a lot of investors who are ready to get in partnership with them. So that would IACC can really help in that format.
Sure, sir. We'll bring this together through IACC. I'll maybe meet Sridevi Garu and Avinash next week, and we'll start the steps for it.
Yeah. So we have our senior member, Ms. Sharmila, also here. Ma'am, would you like to say anything on the Founders Day?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for Ram Kumar to raised hand for this spot information. Sorry, are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yeah, Shikha, you said something?
No, sir, I was mentioning that you raised the hand, so I was just.
Yeah, sure. I did. Thank you. I'll wait for that.
Yeah, I didn't see you, sir. Mr. Nagel, you can complete. I'll go to Ms. Ramkumar next, please. Please go ahead. Yeah.
I think almost all the points have been covered. Just wanted to add about the education and research. Probably the exchange programs might help. Because I've been seeing the other countries, I've been collaborating with US universities and offering the exchange programs where in the 4 semester. Your voice is not coming, very low.
Shika, you got to be mute.
How about now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is better. Yeah, I think within that, for example, if it is like 2 semester course or like 4 semester course, one of the semester is being done in a foreign country. So I think some of the universities, like major universities in India, if they can offer some exchange programs, that kind of establish scholarship programs for students to study in each other's countries as well. And also enhancing the cultural exchange and also academic collaboration. I think that would help a lot. Instead of like, working on the entire program, the exchange programs to initiate with, I think we can start from there and then also on the collaborative research centers as well, like, setting up a joint research centers and focusing on the global challenges such as health, climate change or sustainable development, I would say. And also, when we talk about the trade and investment, I think bilateral trade agreements, we should kind of negotiate agreements that reduce the tariffs and also the barriers facilitating for smoother trade flows in sectors like when we talk about agriculture or textiles and technology. And being like, when we discussed about the technology, I think we have been focusing on the startup partnerships, right? Like we can create incubators and accelerators that kind of connect Indian startups with US investors and mentors. I know we have this gathering every year in Virginia, I think so, but like there should be a possibility where everybody could reach it. Like MSMEs, most of the startups wouldn't afford to kind of get into those arrangements, right? So US investors and mentors and fostering innovation and kind of, very accessible. The market has to be accessible.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I think these are the areas we should be working out for. Ramkumar sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Just to add to what you have been talking about, there are 2 areas in which there is a great opportunity between the United States and India. One of them, you'll be surprised to know, is agriculture. There is a recent trend that there is an acute shortage of rice in the United States, and also the price of rice going up phenomenally in the United States. A lot of NRIs have been complaining that the government of India should do something in terms of, encouraging Indian farmers to grow rice in the United States. So that's an area in which there is a great exponential growth of Indian vegetables like Manabedaka and which is okra, and a whole lot of Indian vegetables to be growing in the United States. And you'll be surprised to know that there was a recent study conducted where a good number of Indians in various states, including, Bay Area, they've shown a lot of interest to invest and grow Indian vegetables, Indian rice, Indian seeds, Indian fruits, etc. So that's an area where I think we should be very innovative to collaborate between AP and Telangana farmers in the American consumer markets, as well as the Indian American farmers in the United States. That's one. Another area where there is an exponential growth is of the Indian, that's the infrastructure development companies from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana doing phenomenal work. I'll give you a few examples. Recently in the United States, as well as in countries like Guyana and, a lot of the Latin American countries, a lot of Indian companies have got contracts. In fact, they are one of the most preferred companies to do infrastructure development in the American continent. So I think these are the new areas in which AP and TS is very good at. And I think Indo-American Chamber of Commerce will do a lot of good to match the projects available in the American continent to the Indian companies. Thank you very much.
Excellent, sir. There are 2, actually totally agree with you, because our dream is like India should be the food supplier for the globe. That is what our aspiration should be. And Avinash, we should work out in these two areas. One is agriculture, where we are not touched upon in our branch, but it is a must, like Ramkumar sir has advised.
Incidentally, I'm front-ending about 4 infrastructure development companies from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana to do projects in Latin America, in Caribbean, as well as the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, since we are supposed to touch upon infrastructure, we are running short of time. Talking about infrastructure now in Hyderabad, if people can see the kind of development happening, how prepared are we? One is skill development, the manpower, human resources. Now, India, otherwise Hyderabad is there.
We didn't have the team for the last.
I think Shikhar, kindly see who is keep them on mode. So India, Hyderabad, especially in this part of the world, has become a human resource capital. And number one, number two, infrastructure. We are prepared now. If you see in the COVID period, we struggled to attract the US companies only because we were not prepared as infrastructure is concerned. Last 4-5 years, Gati Shakti, whatever the central government is talking about, we went at super speed, and now India is prepared to deliver to the world and is welcoming world in all ways. So I'll not take much time as infrastructure. We'll have a different session on it. So since we are running short of time, Naran Rao garu, you are senior most person here. Would you like to talk for a minute, sir? Any views from you, sir? You're in mute, sir. You can hear, sir. Okay. Sir, you're in mute, sir.
Please unmute yourself.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah. Loud and clear. Please.
Yes, sir.
I request you, IACC, to concentrate Andhra Pradesh for getting some business people to Andhra Pradesh from US, because Andhra Pradesh is very weak now. Now the new government is taking some initiative, and our support is very much required. That's all to say.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, I could, sir, Bharat Bhushan, sir. So very good evening, sir. Very nice to see you. One of the senior most person, and your pride not only the nation but also IACC, sir. Sir, can you hear a few words from you, sir? You're on mute, sir. Yeah, please, sir.
Yes, we've been lucky that we got the consulate. He was in Andhra Pradesh, but he was the one who really got us the consulate here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Few words from you, sir.
Thank you. 1997, 98.
Golden era, sir. while you were holding the office.
Yes.
Good. So any advices, suggestions from your side, sir?
No, I think we should have more interaction with the business and trade delegations. We should get earlier the representatives from the various states who used to come often.
Yeah.
And they used to encourage us to come and put up industry there, and they used to have a lot of interaction with us. So that's what is.
Yeah, great, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Probably not happening.
But we are Avinash has got some plans, sir. We wanted to invite all the senior most people who served as chairman of IACC to interact with the people and take suggestions from you. Avinash is planning. I think next month I may invite you all for a gathering, sir.
Oh, very good.
So we want to hear from you, take your suggestions. Ritika, you've been curiously watching us and hearing us. You have anything to say? I think you just come back from US to settle here. How comfortable are you in Sainikpuri? Quickly.
I'm very comfortable because Bharat sir is my mentor. He's been guiding me all along. I could not ask for anything better. And I am watching, listening, and learning. So please, I'm all ears.
Yeah, you're at the right place. So it's good, like we could cover all the fields, and let's take this legacy forward set by all our predecessors and seniors with a great I know how difficult it was to hold it with few numbers to making it to larger numbers. Of course, IACC is not all about numbers. It is about the quality people.
Yes.
They learn quality. That is what we are supposed to be mindful of before taking members on board. Not Shikhar, not like of it. We don't need members to keep increasing the members. Take quality people, spend quality time. That's what our predecessors taught us. So, Ms. Sridevi, could you kindly wind up and give a vote of thanks, please? Anybody else before that? Anybody else want to say anything? Rajgopal sir, unnara sir? Anybody else? Surendran sir, Karnat Surendran sir. Okay, please go ahead, Sridevi garu.
One second, sir. Good evening, all, once again, and thank you. I would like to graciously thank Mr. Frank, sir, for his presence. I would thank the senior leaders of IACC AP, and Telangana. I can see, of course, Srikant Garu. Thank you, Srikant Garu, for taking over and moderating this session and encouraging all of us to speak. Share our thoughts. Thank you all the Avinash, obviously Avinash Garu, for being gracious enough to open the session and introduce our today's chief guest and speaker. Once again, I would like to thank all the members who participated, and I wish everybody in IACC AP and Telangana and across the country a very happy Formation Day.
Thank you so much. So signing off now. Thank you so much. Thank you all for participating.
Thanks,
you all.
everyone.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Diwali.
Thanks
Thank
for
you all.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
ma'am. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, all of you.